Paper Mill Playhouse acknowledges that our theater stands on the traditional land of the Lenni Lenape. We honor the land and the indigenous people who inhabited it for thousands of years before European settlers arrived.
Welcome to Paper Mill Prologues. I'm Lorna Jordan, Education Outreach Associate at Paper Mill Playhouse, and I'm so glad you've joined us today. The goal of Prologues is to give our audience an extra layer of insight and context for our productions. Today, I'm excited to talk to you about The Wanderer, a new jukebox musical based on the life and music of Dion DiMucci. To get a deeper understanding of this production, we're going to take a journey through time to explore the early history of rock and roll, jukebox musicals, and of course, the life of Dion. Since its emergence in the 1950s, rock and roll has been an ever-evolving genre. But where exactly did it come from? Well, the term rock and roll derives from the more literal rocking and rolling, a euphemism for acts of intimacy. The phrase was later shortened to rock and roll, which became popular slang for dancing. By the mid-1950s, radio DJs began using the term to define the kind of upbeat dance music that was often piano or guitar-driven and led by powerful vocalists. This sound took the American music scene by storm, appealing greatly to teens and young adults, often to their parents' displeasure. Artists we now regard as rock and roll pioneers, like Little Richard, and Chuck Berry, were becoming household names. However, the sound that these rock stars popularized was not new. In a 1957 TV interview, fellow rock and roll innovator Fats Domino spoke on this.
Fats, how'd this rock and roll all get started anyway?
Well, what they call rock and roll now is rhythm and blues. I've been playing for 15 years in New Orleans.
This rock and roll music seems to be under an awful heavy attack from all over the country. There's been riots, it's been banned in certain parts of this country and abroad. You know of any reason for that?
Well, as far as I know, music make people happy. I know it make me happy.
You wouldn't blame it on rock and roll?
No, indeed.
Early rock music drew directly from stylistic elements of rhythm and blues, jazz, country, doo-wop, and an array of other popular music genres. Even musicians who may not have been classified as rock artists, like gospel singer Sister Rosetta Tharpe, were laying the foundations of rock music as early as 1938. In case you haven't heard her music before, let's listen to a short clip of her single, Rock Me. You'll be able to spot right away how her music influenced rock and roll. Sister Rosetta Tharpe was introducing electric guitar solos nearly 20 years before Chuck Berry and Elvis popularized the guitar as rock music's signature instrument. So by the time 50s rock artists began making their mark, this sound was quite familiar to audiences. But one of the factors that made rock and roll feel so new and exciting was the culture that bloomed around it. The free and rebellious nature of rock music spoke greatly to the growing teenage culture of the time. 50s teens now had their own fashion, hairstyles, slang, and music to define their generation. It was with this rise of teenage pop culture that Dion began to make his own mark as a rock and roll teen idol. The Wanderer tells the story of Dion DiMucci's rise to the top of the charts from the street corners of the Bronx, where he grew up with his father, Pat, a former vaudevillian performer, and mother, Frances. When the show opens, we meet Dion in the early days of his contract with Laurie Records, a label based out of New York, who also represented groups like the Chiffons. He fronted a group known as Dion and the Belmonts, named after the street they hung out on in the Bronx.
Each time we have a quarrel, it almost breaks my heart, 'cause I am so afraid that we will have to part.
Their first single, I Wonder Why, was an overnight success and even led to a performance on American Bandstand. As you'll see in the show, despite the group's success, Dion had his own ambitions and went solo in 1960.
Keep away from a runaround Sue, yeah. I hug them and I squeeze them. They don't even know my name. They call me the Wanderer. Yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around.
Now, I don't want to spoil what unfolds on stage, but I can say that when the curtain falls, Dion has gone on a powerful journey, and you'll be able to sense that he has more in store. In the 1970s and 80s, he found joy creating the exact music he wanted, favoring the genre of folk blues. Not forgetting his roots, for a single night in 1973, Dion and the Belmonts reunited to perform their old hits to a sold-out crowd at Madison Square Garden. In 1989, Dion was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Most recently, in 2020, he released the albums Blues with Friends and Stomping Ground, which feature collaborations with Bruce Springsteen, Eric Clapton, and other iconic performers. So, now you know, when the curtain falls, Dion's story is far from over. In The Wanderer, you'll hear exciting new arrangements of Dion's hits. The show belongs to a subgenre of musicals known as jukebox musicals, a show that uses previously released popular songs as its musical score. You've probably heard the term before. Ben Brantley of the New York Times first used it in 1995 in his review of Swingin' on a Star, and since then, it has made its way into the vocabulary of theater makers, critics, and fans. Jukebox musicals draw from two possible pools. A, the discography of a specific musical artist or group, or B, a selection of songs from a specific era or genre. From there, the songs are contextualized into a dramatic plot in one of two ways. It will either follow the biographical story of the featured artist, or an original story inspired by the songs. You may also see a jukebox musical that forgoes plot almost completely and primarily focuses on celebrating the music through thrilling arrangements and dancing. Let's take a look at some examples you've probably heard of. We have shows that tell a biographical story about an artist using their music, like The Four Seasons, Cher, The Temptations, and Gloria Estefan. Examples of shows with new stories featuring the music of a specific artist include Jagged Little Pill, Mamma Mia, American Idiot, and Head Over Heels. You may also see the music of a specific era or genre be the backbone of a new work, but often the plot is more nebulous or non-existent, like in Moving Out, Smokey Joe's Cafe, and Ain't Misbehavin'. While the phenomenon feels modern, some theater historians argue that the first jukebox musical was The Beggar's Opera, a 1728 satiric opera that utilized popular folk music. Fast forward to 1975, The Night That Made America Famous, based off the music of Harry Chapin, premiered on Broadway. It was the first of many to try this formula, and it only ran for 47 performances. It wasn't until Mamma Mia in 2001 that a jukebox musical had massive success. So while we may feel that the jukebox musical is a contemporary art form, it has been growing and changing for almost 300 years. The Wanderer falls into the biographical subcategory, as it is based on the life of Dion and features his music. Not only that, but he has been a presence in its creative process and was able to offer first-hand insight to the storytelling. The recent proliferation of this type of jukebox musical is hard to ignore. So what keeps audiences coming back? It could be many things. Dedicated fan bases of the artist, a baseline of familiarity, a hunger for nostalgia. There's no definitive answer, but Sarah Larson in The New Yorker has a hypothesis. She muses that these shows are telling an underknown story about music that's ubiquitous and adored. There's great potential there. These songwriters, when they're early in their careers, aren't personalities we know well, so there's plenty to discover. We hope you discover something new. Now I'm pleased to introduce our creative team. The book for The Wanderer is written by Charles Messina. Charles is best known for his deconstructive take on biographical subjects. Some of his stage work includes the off-Broadway production of Cirque Jacqueline, about the life of Jackie Kennedy, and Mercury, the afterlife and times of a rock god, about Freddie Mercury. Sonny Palladino joins us as music director for The Wanderer. Sonny has served as the music director, arranger, and orchestrator for the Broadway musical Getting the Band Back Together and the off-Broadway revival of Smokey Joe's Cafe. We are pleased to have choreographer of both stage and screen, Sarah Ogilby, join us. Sarah's credits include the New York production of High Button Shoes and London production of Mythic. Sarah is also the resident choreographer for The Tonight Show and Saturday Night Live. Finally, Kenneth Ferrone joins us, serving as director. Kenneth is an Emmy-nominated producer and director. Some of his stage credits include the first national tour of Cruel Intentions, the 90s musical, and the off-Broadway production of Sistas. The Wanderer features a large cast of talented performers, including Mike Wartella as Dion, Christy Altomar as Susan, and Joey McIntyre as Johnny. For a full list of actor bios, check out the digital program on the Paper Mill app. And if you missed any of this video, it is available to you on the app at any time. Thank you for joining us at Paper Mill Playhouse for this exciting new production. We look forward to seeing you again this spring at Sister Act. Enjoy the show.